the road closures, last week with the other two commissioners, but, wanted to just make sure you're aware that, it's the time of year when Bonneville County does close a number of roads for winter conditions. We have some gates on certain roads. We also have just road closures with class 2 barricades and signs on a number of them. And there is on the website a winter road closures map. I don't know whether or not you had specific questions about different areas that we can go to, or how would you like to do that?
We actually had a question earlier about what day they actually closed, so just kind of when we get our first snow or what's.
So some of them close pretty close to the first snow. Some of them close a little bit after that. We try to hold off as long as reasonable, make sure that the backcountry people with cattle can get their cattle out. But usually by November 15th, we're looking to do some of the road closures. We'll try to get them out, especially in some of the backcountry. It takes us some miles driving to get around to the different areas. So we don't wait until it's a lot of snow there so that we can actually make it there too.
And then we also changed the procedure for getting keys, correct?
We did change that. I did get the memo. We printed out a copy of that, and we're having in for the keys for the 5 gates that we do have. So people who have.
Bring them out.
So we probably need to update the ordinance that we talked about with road closures. I haven't looked at that because typically we've needed to pass a resolution that says what roads we're closing and what dates they'll be closed. And the ordinance specifically says that we will list all the roads that will be closed and the dates of their closure. And it says it needs to be done before October 1st. So I don't think the commissioners are going to want to blanket and say we're closing all of these roads from November 1st to May 1st if there's no snow and if people can still travel them.
Yeah.
So we probably need to go update that language to say each year, my thought was each year we will release a press release on the starting day of road closure. We will release a secondary press release when the road closures end and the roads are reopening. That way we don't have to pass an ordinance. We can just push it out through social media and news as to what's open and what's closed and when that's happening. But I don't know your thoughts on that. Just kind of what I thought we could do.
We might want to give it a little bit more than that day's notice, but if you want to come over to Road Bridge, we can work through kind of ordinance language and change it. That's fine.
Yeah, I just thought it would be easier to basically adopt something that can say Public Works has notified us within the next week. All of these roads will be closed. Public Works has notified us within the next week. All of these roads will be reopening. And then we're not sitting down going through trying to put dates to what may or may not be.
Do we need to have a legal release? Doesn't matter.
We can ask them. I think as long as we change the ordinance, we're okay. We'll just have to make sure the ordinance reflects what we're doing, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
And yeah, if you want to come over, we've already got a list of those roads that we go through. Again, some of them are closed down a little bit earlier than others, so. Were there specific questions about different areas that you wanted to?
No, I just wanted to hear a little bit more on it.
Okay.
The map explained a whole lot of where they were at, so
Okay,
I was more concerned. Fines and stuff.
yeah, it's, tell me when it's gonna snow a whole lot. We can give you a better idea of when the road closures need to happen.
That of the lottery.
Yeah. Okay, there is one action item on the agenda. That is to review and sign the right-of-way documents for partial on the Homes at 49 South Signal Project.
Signal.
The Homes at 49 South,
That's.
yeah, yeah.
Did that get resolved then as far as,
So this parcel did, there's still one parcel that has not got resolved
okay,
and is still hanging out there, and I need to reach back out to them and see if the right-of-way agent has heard anything. If we're running into a time crunch again on this,
Yeah.
and if we don't have an answer, I may be coming back to the commission and asking to do something through the legal options that are available to us. And so we can actually go out to bid on this project and get some of the canal work done before spring.
Approve the right of way contract for parcel number 3. RP 02N38E319482.
I'll second that.
All under the head.
I'll also make a motion to amend the agenda to include a revision of taxes for the Allen Lincoln Cemetery Division 2.
Subdivision review fees.
Yeah.
And so that the Ammon Lincoln Sub Cemetery Division 2. Our current policy is $350 for the front flat plus $60 per lot. And with 321 lots in the cemetery, that came to $19,610, which I think is a little excessive.
For a cemetery.
Yeah, and the cemetery district had to come apart apparently.
So our subdivision review fees are geared towards normal subdivision. They're not geared toward,
Long spaces.
yeah, they're not, yeah, they're not geared toward the cemetery. So, I mean, when we went through the what our standards call for, that's what it is. But we don't often have cemeteries that are being applied for plat review.
I guess my suggestion would be to, I figure it'll take me maybe a day and a half to get through this review. Just to charge them time and material type of thing. You know,
That is what our fee should be based on, so I think that's reasonable.
okay.
If you can give them an estimate of what that would be, that would probably be beneficial for them.
I was just looking, David, and I don't know how close or not this will be, but if you looked at the number of blocks on the plat, there's 27 blocks. So if we charged them the $60 per block, it's about $1,620. So I don't know how close that would be, but that seems a little more reasonable to probably what it should be, so.
Let me back up a bit. Who is this? Who's making this submission? Review.
Cemetery district.
So what we're talking about is a fee or a tax on a taxing district, which is paramount to double taxing the residents or in the taxing district. Right?
Well, no, it's in Idaho code that,
Right. But still, that's where if the fee will come from is the taxing district, which is from the taxes that we collect for the taxing district from the tax properties that are inside that taxing district, right?
So we,
So as long as we're right at what our cost is, that's, I think, what it should.
we've been through this same thing before with the school district. Kind of the same argument. And the school district's argument used to be, well, we shouldn't have to pay because we're basically taking this out of bond money and then paying it to the county and it's all the same money. And I'm like, well, yes, but the money still needs to transfer into the appropriate. So that's what we've done is just try to get as close to our cost. So that all that the taxpayers are paying is for the time for us to complete the service and the inspections. And so I think that's pretty much how we've treated these other taxing agencies, if you will, in the past, so.
Any thoughts? Next time.
I like the way Austin explained it.
Yeah, thank you.
Do we need we probably need a motion to
yeah,
Did we?
accept that?
on this one,
Just know what I
Would,
did.
amend the agenda? No, it was just agenda.
You amended the agenda, but you
Okay.
didn't.
So this is the fee schedule.
Yes.
Thing. I'm looking it up. If one would be, if fees for the analytics cemetery division 2 as
it's going on a time and material basis instead of policy.
I'll second that.
For your information, David Romrell and I met with Progressive Irrigation on 105th East this morning. We went through with the contractor that they're gonna have do some of the repairs. We painted up a bunch of the road of where they're going to need to take out the existing material or the existing trench or the existing asphalt and look to see what's underneath it. On the trenches, they're gonna do deep excavation with that run material, then pave back over the top of all of it with a 2-inch overlay, tying in with the driveway. So we went the whole stretch from Highway 26 up to County Line Road and painted up all of the areas that we thought needed to be addressed specifically. There's some other areas that they're probably going to kind of use their best judgment. It is Knife River that they're going to have to do it. So they're looking to get going on that and will likely do a full road closure except for residents of that mile in the next short while and get going on this repair.
the ground temperatures here. When I say here, I mean down here at Valley.
So I'm not sure what they are now, but
For the winter, they get to have.
they're hopeful that they can get the asphalt down. If it takes them 2 or 3 weeks to do the repairs,
River hasn't had. Yeah.
Have they agreed to what you've suggested then, on the remark to?
they were out there. Progressive Irrigation was out there. Knife River was the one marking the road with us, so.
Good.
And then, update on Bear Creek Road. They continue to make progress. There are pictures that I think some of you have seen already. Do they look very familiar? I don't know what they were on social media, so.
Yeah, there are prying minds that want to know out there exactly where this is.
I showed them to him yesterday morning when you texted them, so.
Yeah,
They've got it posted, I see.
and
I
they,
had a couple of comments this morning at the Irwin store, or the Irwin, elementary school when I went into the election stuff.
Okay.
I tell you what, you make those 6 women happy, the rest of the valley's probably gonna follow along, so.
well, we're trying.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I was. God, numbers got done for last week.
They spent a few days shoveling snow, but, they're
You can
making,
push that snow up into a pile, then you can shovel.
yeah. Okay,
Big mirrors to reflect heat on that hillside from the other hillside.
that would be helpful.
Kind of in the shade.
Yeah, it is definitely in the shade, and that's why our operators have always had a problem with getting that particular stretch of road clear.
But it's gonna be, I've never watched a road construction project as close as this. Never been close to one that was as bad as this. They are doing an exceptional job of making the repairs. And thank you for going up and helping.
Yeah, I didn't help them for very much, but yeah. I think you wanna give them an update on the
Breakfast
traffic station.
So right now, we feel like we're probably on schedule. We've poured, the wall section is done. It's framed and they poured the concrete in that last Friday and then poured the footings for the drain in the commercial side floor. So we feel like we're on schedule. We should pour the rest of the concrete later this week. And then it'll just be basically capping that area on that side, so we're hoping to be able to open about a week faster than what we thought. If things progress the way they are currently, and the weather's holding out good.
That'd be good. I know they're not your trucks, but I've had a number of complaints from people up on Sunnyside
Oh, yeah.
about the regular garbage trucks coming down that hill way too fast.
Yeah, the sheriff was up there the other day and was issuing a few tickets.
Good.
Tickets slowed it down a little bit. So we've
If
already,
you can pass that along to your department, that
I can talk to them.
gravity, when they're not accustomed to coming down the hill with those trucks and
Oh, the garbage as well.
those, well, I think they're coming down empty when they're coming down, but to build up a lot of speed, and it would be really embarrassing to have one offside on its side where all the other little cars fall over, but mostly I'm concerned about the people pulling out of that neighborhood. Finding a truck that's moving 65 or 70 miles an hour instead of 35. Glad they were up there. Yeah.
I'm citing Infraroad Bridge.
Yeah, wait.
No, I know I presented to you the last 2 times. I don't have anything.
No, urgent.
We're just excited for the election to be.
Yes, I am absolutely. Thank you,
Who my new boss is.
just late last minute.
Yeah, I did. I slept okay. I think the one council seat will be a runoff, but the one that has seven, yeah. That has 7 people, was it 6 people on it? 7.
No, the husband and wife are different council
Different
seats, right?
councils, right?
How do you know which ones? Well, never mind. It's, has that ever happened in Idaho? Has anybody done the?
I don't believe it
has
has.
to be some CC of.
The one that's running against Jim Freeman is the youngest. If you were to win, he would be the youngest member of the city council, and he's 20.
He's old enough to vote.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or,
he's old enough to vote.
yeah, he's old enough to know, that's right. Yeah. But yeah, he'll be, if he wins, but he's also the youngest candidate. So,
Well, that's cool.
I don't know about husband wife, I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, good. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting day.
Yeah,
I appreciate being late, or I apologize for being late. I do appreciate that. It's, sorry, I got that one off because it's,
appreciate you guys in the county, if there's anything we can help with.
I did want to talk about the tires on Iona Road for a little bit.
good.
Blair thinks he needs to charge us 40,000 to take care of it. Just kidding. We actually.
Last night, it went up. If you're gonna do it, you better hurry.
I was honestly thinking we should have rethought this process and use those with the fill process to rebuild the wall compared to.
Yeah, true. So we actually got a bid from Tire Reclaim. Nobody's ever put a number to what they thought it would cost us to go in and clean those up. So Tire Reclaim came in and gave us a bid. It was about 173,000, which I was actually surprised that it was that
Over
low.
what
Yeah,
time
that-
frame?
That,
What?
Over what time frame?
I've got the bid here. I sent it to Blair last night, so I was harassing him about his $40,000 landfill fee, but that is basically the bid assumes 50,000 tires equivalent to 1,000 tons to be transported from the site to the Bonneville County landfill with 10% downtime. So they're bidding about 30 days. But what they would do is they'd come in and bring a mobile transport shredder and shred them all and then bring them up to the landfill, right? Is that what they've talked to you about?
really?
So we haven't circled back with the property owner yet. We were gonna, code enforcement was gonna take this bid out to him, and I believe we're gonna try to meet with code enforcement and then Tire Reclaim also and see what they wanted to do. I know originally when we talked to him, he's like, I don't care, just have the county lien the property, and which we thought would not be feasible because we thought it would cost way more to move the tires than what the property was worth. But if we're truthfully 200,000 or less and we're getting the building and everything, that might be a feasible option to just lien the property, we clean it up. So I'm planning to come to legal and just talk to Scott about options with that today, if that's even something we can do, and then we can talk to the property owner. But I think it really would be nice to get that cleaned up, and I think that cost is actually seems somewhat reasonable. I mean, it's still expensive, but for a problem that's been there for, I don't know how many years now.
Yeah. Well, since it's actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that stuff, they actually get like pretty well.
40,000 of that 173,000 is what Blair's charging us at the landfill, so you might have to negotiate with him a little bit.
Hey, I'm gonna leave the property, the county's gonna get paid, so the landfill should get paid.
Which I agree with Blair, if the property owner's paying for it, or if we're gonna lien it, that money would still need to go to the landfill for dealing with those, but I was just giving him a hard time about it last night, so.
Our trucks are actually gonna haul them too, so you gotta give me the.
Oh, we are?
Yeah,
doing
we're gonna
the
haul
hauling.
them off the end of the grinder.
Okay,
So that's more money.
So that now that's the $40.
but I actually, again, I looked at that bid and I think it's actually pretty reasonable for what it is.
And
That machine,
I find it hard to believe they can actually do it for that, but
that machine's
What I
pretty,
thought.
it'll eat a lot of tires in an hour.
And they said, the reason I kind of want to move on it is they said the winter's actually a really good time for them to do it, so.
The cooler it is, the better they break up, and then the snow also is a lubricant, so when they're doing them, they process a lot nicer. When it's hot and the tire is hot, it's a lot harder for that machine to break it down.
So I just wanted to put that on your radar and to try to get a little more information, and then we can try to make a decision as to what we're gonna do with that, so.
Excellent, thank you.
I don't think I have anything else other than that.
I had a speed limit question that somebody had for, United Lumber between St. Leon and Eden, where it goes past that old schoolhouse. So it's Telford.
Twenty-fifth, Telford,
Yeah, the old schoolhouse there.
Okay,
Now, it's still 35 miles an hour and there's no school buildings there, but it's not being used. Dude,
district.
it's like a little line elementary, but
Trailer is there?
they have a trailer there and they have.
And a stack of Hillcrest classrooms.
Do we sign that or does that need to have a study done?
so
50s or 40s or?
we could do a study on it. We haven't done a speed count on it. Most of the time, that would be a decision by the commissioners if there has been a request from the public. If the school is not operating anymore, it's still there.
Yeah.
And so many times, once something has been lowered down, there's resistance about raising it up to the standard 50, but we can certainly take a look at that if you want us to.
Yeah, it was a request by a resident that,
So if there's a request by the resident, I would recommend they fill out the traffic change request form
okay.
and turn it into us and we could address it that way.
And the other complaint they had was 65th North between Louisville and 15th. But it's like gravel trucks that are going 60 miles an hour on the 40s. I think we'll have sheriff's.
That's an enforcement.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's 40, so we'll have sheriff's office, we can do some radar.
yeah.
But yeah, I'll get a hold of Tom to do that.
Okay.
I wonder, does that have anything to do with, the hot plant? HK's hot plant, the trucks coming out onto the road there, cause that's just right past the school too, so I wonder if that was some of the 35.
That's on the west side of the school, isn't it? And I think the sign is right out of school.
Yeah, you might be right. I'd have to go look at it again. I haven't been there, haven't been out there for a while.
I think the 35 were put there specifically in request from the school and neighbors by the school, but if they're not using the school anymore.
Okay. Suggest that.
Okay.
Thank you. Meeting's adjourned.
Austin.